How's it going, everybody? It's Pride here and welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be doing a Q&A answering a bunch of your questions pretty much related to E3, Sekiro, and games that were announced at E3. So I got a bunch of questions, like literally 20-30 questions. I'm just going to mainly try to answer them as quickly as I can so it's not like a 40-minute video. But the craziness of E3 has pretty much gone down. We've all kind of digested the games that have been released, you know, the trailers and all that. So let's go ahead and start it off with the first question. What are your top picks from all of E3? This is a little bit tough. I actually do have a list of like literally all the games. There's a lot, like way more than I remember. Like I'd probably say there's probably like 10 to 15 that stuck to me and stuck in my head. I'm like, oh, that game looks really cool. It's probably going to come out soon. I wouldn't necessarily say I have a number one, but if I did, it would probably be Cyberpunk. The trailer for Cyberpunk just, like, I mean, I still watch it daily. Similar to the Sekiro trailer, I've kind of watched it basically at least once a day. Both of those games were definitely two of my most standout games, but if I look through the list, let's go ahead and just do that. It's a list on IGN. Not going to mention all of them, but I will mention a couple of them that I do see. They are in alphabetical order, so the first one that I do see that was kind of interesting, Beyond Good and Evil 2. I have no real clue what the first one was about, but the CGI trailer for the new one and the first trailer that they showed at E3 I think are really cool, so I'm definitely interested in that game. Call of Cthulhu. That's one that I've actually been looking forward to for a little while now. I'm not entirely sure when that comes out. I think it might even come out later this year. I was actually looking to do a playthrough on that game because it is going to be a game basically related to stories from H.P. Lovecraft, which I've read a couple of them, looked at videos of a bunch of monsters, and obviously Bloodborne kind of got a ton of inspiration from H.P. Lovecraft. So I'm actually pretty excited for that, and I've been excited for it for a while now. The gameplay looks pretty cool. It has like puzzles. It looks like it'll make a interesting playthrough game. I'll definitely try it out once that comes out. Black Ops 4, you know, it's one of those games where I enjoy the Call of Duty series. I actually haven't enjoyed it since Black Ops 3, like really not at all, but I do think the earlier games were fucking awesome. They have a good chance to make another fantastic game since it is Treyarch, but then it also kind of seems like it's not much of an improvement from Black Ops 3, which don't get me wrong, Black Ops 3 was alright, but it looks nearly identical without the jetpacks, which is good. I hated the boost packs. It looks like they're getting even greedier when it comes to the, you know, stuff like the map packs being hidden behind the season pass and not being able to be bought separately later on when they come out individually, like you have to own the season pass. But having the addition of this battle royale game type that we haven't really heard anything about, I'm definitely going to be looking forward and looking out for that game. I don't know if I'm going to buy it, but if things are looking good upon release and that blackout mode looks good, then I'll probably pick it up. Death Stranding. Again, I would probably put that in my top 5 of my most excited games. We got a little bit of gameplay. Now, the gameplay might not have interested a lot of people because it seemed like a lot of walking around, a lot of stealth, but there's something about it, man. Like, there's a mystery there that I'm just so interested in, and Hideo Kojima obviously is making the game, and he's got a really weird mind, and I cannot wait to fucking play that game, and most likely do a playthrough on it as well. Doom Eternal. The first game, I've watched videos on it. I've actually never played it myself. Most likely going to be playing it here soon, maybe doing a playthrough on that as well, leading up to this second one coming out. Dying Light 2, a game that a lot of people told me that the first one was actually pretty good and pretty fun. Never got to play it, but with the second one coming out, I'll probably be looking to maybe pick that one up. Elder Scrolls 6, basically one PNG on top of a JPEG. There's not much to see there, but it's cool that we know that it's going to be coming out probably in 2 or 3 years. Definitely excited for that. Fallout 76 looks fucking awesome. It's a little bit worrisome because, you know, I'm more of a person that plays games solo and by myself, like a fucking loser. And with the whole online element and being in this open world where you play with other people, and I know that you can't play solo, but I'll definitely want to play that multiplayer. It's going to be interesting to see how that works out. Another game that I would put in my top 5, I think we have 4 or 3 in there already. We have Sekiro, Death Stranding, Cyberpunk, and Ghosts of Tsushima. The trailer for that game looks amazing. I love the little gameplay that we had. It, you know, kind of has a little bit of, kind of looks a little bit like Sekiro, like the gameplay might be similar. You'll have some stealth aspects to the game, solid swordplay, and from the gameplay trailer that we got, it just looks beautiful. It looks like one of the best looking games that I've seen in the past couple years. Halo Infinite, I'm excited to see if they do anything fun again with Halo. I personally have not enjoyed any of the previous Halos. I think the last good one was Halo Reach. I played a lot of Halo Reach with friends, so I'm definitely going to be looking out for that Halo game. Last of Us 2. The first one was good. I don't know if I would have enjoyed it as much if I didn't get it for free. Like if I paid $60 straight up, I would have probably thought it was good, but maybe not worth the $60. I fucking loved it, considering I got it free when I got my PlayStation. But I am even more excited for the second one. The second one looks like it is going to have a little bit more gameplay. The graphics, man, like the trailer, the gameplay trailer they showed, oh my god, it looks amazing. The facial features on the characters, again, I said in the tweet that I don't entirely think that it's actually how the gameplay is going to be, and I know, by the way, I did say this Q&A wasn't going to take forever, and I'm still on the first question, but all other ones are going to be quick, I promise. But The Last of Us 2 definitely looks awesome. Really excited to play that game. And a lot of people did ask me if I was going to do a playthrough on it, and most likely, yeah, I probably will be doing one. I feel like that's the one that I do get asked the most about if I'm going to be doing a playthrough. Nioh 2! We got that sick-ass trailer from Nioh 2. Loved the first one, did a playthrough on the first one, never played the DLC because I, stopped playing it for a point, then the DLC came out, and then I was massively underleveled, so I didn't continue playing it. And now probably the fifth and last game that I would put in my top 5 for E3, Resident Evil 2 Remake. I never played the original Resident Evil 2. I played Resident Evil 3 a little bit, completed Resident Evil 4, but Resident Evil 2 looks insane. Any of the trailers that I've watched, any GIFs that I watch, like the way, there's one specific GIF that I remember watching where the guy lifts up a character's head, his head is basically split open in half, and when he lifts it up, the way the tissue falls apart and the mouth opens, but the bottom part of the jaw stays down, might be one of the craziest things that I've ever seen in a video game. So I'm incredibly excited for that game. 100% will do a playthrough on that game, which means we're probably gonna have to do Resident Evil 7 before that game comes out. Spider-Man, the new Spider-Man game coming out, I think in September, in about 3 months. Another game. God, there's a lot of games, huh? Another game that I'll most likely be doing a playthrough on. I've already been excited for this game for like a year and a half, 2 years when they first announced it. Because I feel like we haven't really gotten a great Spider-Man game since Spider-Man 2, which I played back in the day. It's one of those games that I had to rent like 5 different times to complete, and I love that game. So this one has a lot of potential in my opinion. But just to recap, my top 5 picks from all of E3, Sekiro, Cyberpunk, Death Stranding, Ghost of Tsushima, and Resident Evil 2. Easily my standout games that I'm most excited for in the next upcoming months or years even for Death Stranding and Cyberpunk. So the next question is in relation to Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice, of course, is the game that's going to be my main focus in the next coming months, when it comes to news of new games and stuff. How do you feel about the game not having PvP or co-op? So I was very bummed out about the news that it's not going to have PvP or co-op or any type of multiplayer. Maybe we see some stuff in there. I could still imagine seeing, stuff like messages and bloodstains. But the fact that there's not going to be any PvP is, I would say it's okay. I'm excited to see what From Software does with a entirely single player game, because they mentioned when you do PvP, when you do co-op on these type of games, you have to make the games around that. Like, it's a big part of it, and it makes the development of a game a lot more difficult. So when they have this purely single player game, I want to see what level they can take it to. The PvE in the Dark Souls series with, Dark Souls 1 and Bloodborne have been some of the best games that I've ever played. So now when we have an experience that is just single player, I feel like we might get something special. From Software, I've said before, is at their best when they're doing something new, and this is definitely new. At least recently, in the past, 7, 8 years since Demon's Souls? I'm very excited for the game, even with no PvP or no co-op. Thoughts on Assassin's Creed Odyssey? That looks cool. It's an Assassin's Creed game. I haven't played one in a while. I feel like they're very time-consuming games. Those type of games that you'll play for a little while, get very excited for playing it for like 10 hours, and then it's kind of, a lot of the same, and it gets a little bit boring, and maybe you pick something else up, or you stop playing it for a little while. I feel like it's kind of one of those games. I don't know if I'm exactly excited for it. If it's good, if people say it's good, maybe I'll pick it up, but most likely not. Will you be doing videos with Super aka my brother, for Jump Force or anything in particular. I'm not really even sure if my brother is very excited for Jump Force because it's one of those 3D fighter games. I know that he's more willing to play something if it's like Mortal Kombat where it's a 2D fighter rather than having this big open space. I think it's awesome. Like, it has Naruto and Dragon Ball Z, a bunch of these One Pieces in there, Death Note I saw in there as well. It looks cool, having this mix up of all these animes and manga. I don't know if I'll play it myself, but I'll definitely end up watching some videos because as well the game looks pretty damn cool. Like, the graphics of the game look really, like, weirdly realistic. I'm excited to see how that game looks though. Code Vein, is it good? Are you gonna play it? I will be playing Code Vein for sure. Is it good? I played it a little bit at E3. I did make a video on it. I thought it was fine. There wasn't anything really too standout-ish on the game. Is that a word? I'm not sure. But I'll definitely be playing it, and maybe it will be good. I have good hopes for it. Not high hopes for it. Just, I'm expecting it to be decent. Are you concerned with the fact that Activision is publishing Sekiro? I was a little bit concerned right when you see that trailer and you see Activision. You could even see my reaction in the, reaction video where I'm like, what the fuck, Activision? What are they doing there? But the more that time passes and the more news we hear about it and, you know, them saying, don't be concerned. They have stuff that we needed and that we do not have available to us because we're a fairly small company. And Activision had a lot of the resources to offer from software that they can use. And maybe that's the reason they chose Activision, because I'm sure being from software and making Dark Souls and Bloodborne, they kind of have free reign to go to a lot of different publishers. I'm sure if they picked Activision, that's because they were able to get something they want, and obviously they're not going to be forced to be like, okay, you can have this, and we're going to give you a lot of money to publish this game, but you have to put loot boxes for every weapon and armor in the game. Do you really think they're going to be like, oh yeah, sure, let's go ahead and let's ruin our legacy right there with this game? I don't think so. So no, I'm not really too worried about Activision publishing Sekiro. Do you think there will be an appearance from patches in Sekiro? I do think there will be an appearance from patches in Sekiro in some manner. We got the spider in Bloodborne, so I think we'll get something. He's going to be like a snail this time around. He's just going to get smaller and smaller. Do you think there will be any weapons besides katanas? No. I don't think there will be any weapons besides katanas. They've said that there's not really going to be a bunch of weapons to collect. Might not even be any apart from the one katana. Although it was brought to my attention after I saw Vadi's video. I don't even know how I didn't see it myself, but in the cover of the game, White Man or whatever his name is, he's got a katana in his hand and he also has one in his back. So maybe there'll be different katanas. But I don't think there's going to be weapons besides katanas. And another question that's kind of related to that, do you think there will be a Moonlight Greatsword? Considering that's carried on to pretty much all their Soulsborne series. No, I don't think there will be a Moonlight Greatsword. What do you think about The Division 2? So The Division 1, I only really played the beta when that came out. I had a lot of fun with the beta. I was actually expecting to get the main game, but the thing about the beta, I played it with a bunch of friends, and when the full game was coming out, pretty much none of those friends were going to be getting that game because they thought they saw everything. So I thought to myself, well, I have no reason to get this game. I know that the main interest in this game is like a big, expansive multiplayer you can play with friends and this big world. You collect items and go to this area and have it picked up. That was the main interest of the game for me. I don't know if there's going to be anything different. You know, something like, again, I'll say it, but I know a lot of people hate it, but a Battle Royale game type. I know the Division 2 could probably pull it off. I feel like it would be one of those games I'm surprised it doesn't have that already. It's already kind of like a Battle Royale open city type of game type where you have this loot, you collect loot all around the world. I'm honestly surprised that they didn't announce anything like that for that game. Maybe they didn't want to throw the noise where it's already loud, but I think the Division 2 looks cool. Maybe I'll pick it up and play with people from the channel, but odds are probably not. Thoughts on Fallout 76 being multiplayer? It's gonna be really weird, but honestly it's gonna be one of those multiplayers like No Man's Sky where they're like, yeah, you're absolutely in a world with other people, but then you're gonna be playing for 35 hours and you're not gonna even see one other person. I feel like it's gonna be a little bit of that, but then when you get matched up with another person and you're by yourself and it's just them and his friend and his friend, and it's 1 versus 3. and you haven't played for a week and they've been playing non-stop for a week, I'm sure it'll be fine. They totally won't one-shot you. Although I'm excited for it. I'm excited to see and play the beta when that comes out. And now for the most serious question, absolutely the most serious question. Do you think they will release an official grapple arm sex toy? And if so, how much would you be willing to pay for it? Nothing above $2,100. But yes, I absolutely do think so. I might have to fly to Japan to get one, so that plane ticket is included into the $2,100 price. It's going to be hand-given to me by Miyazaki himself, and I will not use it. Now here's one that's not serious at all. Do you think your channel might die if you run out of Souls-like PvP content? Yes. I don't know. Maybe. I might just be another channel that 100% relies on the PvP aspect of Dark Souls. I hope that I'm not. I've kind of been trying to branch out a little bit, but there's a lot of people who only want to watch Dark Souls, and that's understandable. Not everyone likes a bunch of different games. I have a couple ideas here and there. I don't really know how to execute on them because I have a channel that does upload very consistently, like every other day or every day. I can't necessarily upload one big video that takes a long time to make and edit and do commentary on and do that once a month like Donkey. It would be cool if I could, but if I did that, the video would probably get like 10,000 views and my channel would 100% die. But we'll see, man. There's always going to be Souls games. There's always going to be Souls-like games coming out in the future. I don't think Dark Souls is the end of the Souls series. They're maybe going to be the best for a while, and then a game series will come out that blows it out of the water, in my opinion. It might be done by From Software themselves or a different company. Time will tell, for sure. And the final question. Will there be a Kid Snatcher in Sekiro? If not as the protagonist, then perhaps as a boss. And I'm going to say, maybe. I may have had a talk with Miyazaki at E3. I may have seen him going out at E3 and gone, "Hey, Miyazaki!" And then he left out the door. That might have been an agreement. You'll see next year, January 12th, when Sekiro comes out. Announcing it here first. It's not. Either way, guys, long-ass Q&A video, Jesus Christ. But I haven't done one in like, what, 4 months or something like that? I thought I would do a nice long one. Answer a bunch of questions. It was a great E3 in my opinion. I thought that it was one of the best ones that we've had in recent years. I've watched all of them for like the past fucking 6 years, because that's mainly when I started caring about a bunch of different games instead of just COD. But it looks like we have a bright future ahead of us for video games. Either way, guys, hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you made it this far, a like is very much appreciated. Thank you for watching. Hope you guys have a good day, and I'll talk to you all later. Peace, everybody.